What is the actual purpose of your PR pitch? Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl M and PR. We're a public relations agency based in the UK as well as the USA and Uganda and serving clients worldwide. And here today in day number 14 of 39 days of public relations training, we're here to talk about the purpose of your PR pitch. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 11 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So look, fundamentally, one of the things that I've made an assumption about as we've gone through this training, if you look at some of the previous training videos, is that the purpose is, for example, to build relationships with a view. And I want to just talk a little bit about, why the rationale for that is, but also just alternative things to consider. So fundamentally, the if you watch the trainings on Twitter and the LinkedIn, how to do journalist outreach, and you'll see that I have a bit of a like, comment, follow, like, comment, follow, connect. So like, comment, follow, connect, approach, and then potentially the ask. Okay, and that's kind of the thesis, the view or the rationale behind this. And this is where you need to think about the purpose. The view or the rationale behind this is that the value of a relationship over its lifetime is far greater than just one link, okay, or one feature, one whatever it is. It's far greater than one, and that's why this approach is powerful, because for the right publications or for the right person, you want to turn this into 10. You want to get a 10x return, and this approach is much more likely to land you a 10x return, because it's the power of a relationship over a lifetime as opposed to the power of one link that we care about way more than fundamentally one link itself, depending upon your purpose as well as your aims with your PR pitch. And that's what you need to consider when you're thinking about the approach you're taking and the purpose of the pitch, because all of it, even if you skip all of this, okay, so let's just change color. Even if you were to skip all of this and just go here to go for the ask, then you're still fundamentally going for ultimately a PR pitch. You've got to think about ultimately the intent. Now, in a different example, refer back to training number 13, where we talk about PR for link building. You might feel that the relationship with that publication or that individual author might be a what I call a one and done relationship. So one and done, meaning that, look, I'll get a link here, and I don't know that there's going to be much value beyond that, the mutual value exchange, the initial value exchange of providing, great content for said publication. So therefore, beyond that, I'm not that concerned with a longer term relationship, which is normal. Okay, it's every relationship when it comes to this will have a specific purpose. So in those instances, you can go directly just for the ask. Okay, and you might not need to worry about this stuff. Now, the ask still needs to be strong. The ask still needs to be contextually relevant. The ask still needs to show that you've done some level of some level of research, but you can go directly for the ask, because the opportunity of an upside in this fashion does not exist. It does not exist because there isn't, you're not contacting, for example, an editor at Forbes, and Forbes is a publication that you want to build a good relationship with. It might be the editor at an individual law blog that you don't see yourself returning to more than once. So in those instances, the ask might be far better. Now, that's not to say that the person that you build the relationship with could be someone who freelances between several publications, and then the relationship again becomes more important. But if it isn't, then going straight for the ask does make sense. Now, outside of that, the second layer of considerations with the purpose of the pitch is also to fundamentally think about, what are you going for? A link? Are you going for, like, exposure to for example, get in front of a relevant audience? So that means, traffic. A link means Google authority, and then it could be, let's say, networking or clients directly, and that could mean like a very specific audience rather than general traffic. And then also you could look at, for example, brand. So it could not mean much, but you might just want to put a logo on your website or say that I've worked with. So as you think about fundamentally what you're trying to achieve, it's useful then to also look at how you filter publications. So if it's a link, you're looking at perhaps the site's domain authority as well as its general traffic. If it's exposure, it might not even be a website. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be an Instagram show. It could be anything that's got a lot of traffic. If it's niche, it could be a very finite audience, but it's a very relevant audience because you want to gain ultimately clients. So it could be speaking at a closed door event as an example. Okay. If it's, for example, branding, then it could be something that's via a press release, but then you can put Fox News or CNBC, Fox or CNBC or Bloomberg on your actual website. So can you see how there's lots of ultimately ways you can take this once you determine what the strategy of your PR pitch is and therefore in what direction you need to go? So there you have it, guys. Always think about the purpose of your PR pitch, because then it will, to a degree, dictate the kind of publications you go after to then make sure that the outreach you do is that much more effective.